I got a new setup here. I got a ring light
Oh,
now. I'm using my phone as a camera because I think my
oh,
phone's camera is better than the laptop camera.
yeah. A bad shorty now. You doing like
We
you
try.
do makeup tutorials now.
Yeah, like just slap it on your face. Ain't nobody care.
Just slap it up. I feel like if in the wrong context, that can be taken a lot different ways. Just
Well,
slap it on your face. It's fine.
it's fine.
Nope. And Jason
Do
said
those
no
colors
one
even match?
care.
I don't know. What's blended? Put it big gobs. Just kick that sucker on. The more you look
So,
like a crown, the better.
guys who are listening now that are probably listening on the podcast that we reposted, we've been trying to say that before we start the show, we could like cover a little bit of geek news to give
Cannon
something more
fodder.
than it's just talking about like Harry Potter every time.
I was
So,
going to talk
and
about Star Wars today.
yeah, because we talk about a lot of Harry Potter on the show, like a lot of Harry Potter to the point that I don't even want to say this because it's gonna make us talk about that we talk about a lot of Harry Potter on the show.
Speaking of Harry Potter,
But the Ninja Turtles new trailer dropped.
oh my goodness,
What did you think? The Seth Rogen Ninja Turtles, excuse me,
yeah.
trailer.
I think Seth Rogen is. He might do it. He might. I mean, there's been a lot of non-Michael Bay good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles things, but I never felt like the best thing about the first Michael Bay film. I never saw the second one. Was that there was one point where you actually felt like they were teenagers, right? Like never when I was a kid did I feel like they were teenagers. But in this movie, they're like kids. Like they're like 14. So and you can feel like they have child voice actors rather than grown men playing these parts, and you can like, and it looks great. It looks awesome to me. I don't know. What do you think, Jason?
I mean, I'm here for it. It's cool. I agree. The aesthetic of it looks good. I hate this new. Let's put Donatello with glasses.
Well,
Like,
he's a nerd. Come on, it's shorthand.
well, as we speak, two nerds sitting here, like, yes, please, let's stereotype. Continue on. I'm surprised they didn't have him have tape in between the glasses.
Yeah,
Like,
guys.
but he's still a
falling
ninja.
down
That's
and
the
shit.
point I'm getting at. Like, he's still a ninja. Like, I'm not saying ninjas can't wear collective eyeglasses, but at least give him the Abdul Jabbar strap-on ones. Like, how you gonna fight crime with the? I used to wear glasses. Ain't much mobility you gonna do with the joints around your ear. Like, come on, man, let's stop it. But
you know what?
other
Also,
than that, I liked it.
It also, like if you go down the rabbit hole, it's like who like prescribed these glasses for Donatello, right? Like,
or the braces.
how did they find out that he was short or nearsighted? Like, what's going? Like, does he go out and get a prescription? Like, what's going on? Like, is Master Splinter driving him across to the mall? And
my theory is black dad Master Splinter, because he got the afro, so he's definitely a black dad. Figured out a hustle to get him subscription, just like Michelangelo's braces. I made a comment on one of the people.
How does he get braces?
I was tweeting. She mentioned that. I'm like, it's a shame that people living in the sewer have better dental and health care than regular Americans.
Than 90% of all people in America. Like, it does raise so many more questions, but other than that, like, I'm here for it. We got another Black April O'Neil, and she has a more realistic body type. People seem to hate that, but fuck them. That's what I say.
Okay. What about your boy returning as the Punisher?
Oh, dude, John Bernthal. Well, here's the thing. They're bringing back Daredevil. They're bringing back Charlie Cox. I was going to say Charlie Day. Yeah. That's a whole nother.
That'll be a wild Daredevil.
Look, I did a lot of cocaine before I got here.
Right. I couldn't see it, but I smelled it and I did it.
So honestly, if they're bringing back John Bernthal as the Punisher, and they got Charlie Cox as Daredevil, then they got to bring back Mike Coulter.
Before you go forward, we missed a great opportunity to do a cocaine dare. Like, joke. All right, go ahead.
Cocaine Daredevil. I just think they got to bring back Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, man. I mean, if we bring everybody back, I mean, obviously, they're probably not going to do. I mean, they kind of leaned into it with the the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, kind of like the whole racial aspect of things. But Luke Cage is black. He makes Wakanda look like the swamp meat. He black, right? So
as
they got to bring back
opposed to the regular black.
Yeah. I mean, let's be 100% honest. What's his face on Captain America or Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier say, ain't no black guy should be wearing no red, white, and blue. So Sam, I trust him, but he a narc. Let's get it. Let's just be. He's a narc.
I will admit, I never finished the Punisher Netflix series, and
oh man,
I still feel like the best Punisher was still Ray Stevenson. They should just make him be Punisher forever because he's a big, huge, intimidating man. Which the Punisher
obviously
should
you
be.
Never seen John Barenthal like ever.
That joker like 5'2", bro. Stop it.
Dude,
you gotta stop.
Okay. We'll see him in
I'll
real life.
Oh yeah, I'll see him in real life. He'll be 5'8", and I'll be like, hey, we're the same height. Hey, how's it going? And you're 160 pounds. So cool.
I think his version of the Punisher is probably the most accurate because he's just a wrecking ball and he's just going in there and he's like, and he's beating dudes up. Like the prison scene. Fantastic.
I need to believe that the Punisher can beat mutants. John Barenthal does not make me think he can beat up a mutant.
He got guns. He's got the great equalizer. He's got
does not make me think he can beat up a mutant. Star Trek Discovery season 5 is supposed to be the last one. I know you are a huge proponent, or apologist. I don't know how to frame you in this one.
I would probably be an apologist because season 1 sucks. Didn't finish it.
Okay.
I started back in season 2, and even the first part of season 2 sucks. But the half of the way through season 2, it starts getting better. Season 3, season 4, phenomenal. So I'm kind of sad that they close. I mean, because it kind of feels like they're being defeated by all the trolls out there. But they got 5 seasons, so they're really not that defeated, right? So I'm kind of sad because, like, I really, really do enjoy the crew of Discovery more than any other crew. I feel like they not only do they bring a groundedness to their characters, like these people bicker, they like get into arguments, but then they like at the end of the day they pull together, and that's what Star Trek is all about. Is that we are all have our skills, and once we pull them all together, that's when we achieve things. Rather than like the Star Wars, where it's like I'm the special boy, I'm the one that does it. So
okay.
I'm kind of sad that they're ending it on season 5, but I think it's probably not much more they can do with that particular show anyway. So,
and I think my last bit of news I have, they're doing a Stranger Things stage play that's supposed to show the Vecna story, which I thought we got in the show, but it's going to be the same. Look, I honestly, being completely honest, like, look, first and foremost, I'm with you with the stage play. I don't care anything about that, but if they actually did like a legitimate movie of it, I know we saw it in Stranger Things show, but I feel like if you get James Wan and you do a haunted house movie of it, and then you find at the end the twist is like the kid was the one doing it. Oh, sorry, spoilers for anybody who's about to play Stranger Things. Anyway, a little too late, I guess.
This show that came out last year, we're gonna wait another year for,
right? But yeah, I'm like that would be a beautiful horror movie where the twist is like, oh crap, it was the kid the whole time, not the house, but they rather do the stage play thing because live plays do such great things like the Cursed Child, the Spider-Man.
That's something that we all love doing is going to see stage plays. It's not a dying art. No offense to any actual thespians in there. I'm sure you guys are having fun, you theater kids. But I'm not gonna spend $100 to sit there and watch some guy yell at me for an hour or 2
now
or 4.
If it was a Vecna musical, Jason still wouldn't go, but I would go. I would enjoy that.
Oh, that would be even worse. I mean, like, it has to be. That's the only way I can find a stage play even moderately entertaining is if they sing to me. I'm just like, I mean, there's a place for all art all the time. I'm not trying to
Mhm.
say that theater isn't fun or I just like I got a
Yes,
movie.
you
I'm
are.
gonna watch a
Yes, you are.
movie. Yeah, you're
You
right.
don't
I
want to
know.
watch a movie
Theater
with the live
sucks.
people being live in your face?
No, because they can't do cool shit.
Hey,
There's a
look, you
dude
can
on the
get
string.
some.
I can see the strings. I can
You
see the
gotta
rope
use
lifting
your
up Peter's hand.
imagination,
I
Jason.
read books, okay? I don't need that.
Imagination. All right. I
It just
guess we
doesn't
could
do anything for me.
start at 11. Does that give you enough time to get your intro ready? Because
Oh shit! I gotta get my
you're the
intro
king of
ready.
intros,
Oh god, I actually
the
got a good one
savant,
today.
the savant of introductions.
No, okay. Because Lisa, I actually got to tell people why Lisa isn't here. What's a good
Ooh, but
excuse?
she's white, so she can't be in jail.
No, she's not
So
in
it could
jail.
be Karen related, white
Oh,
collar, or like
she called the cops on a black person, right?
it
And
was
now she's
reverse
hiding.
racism and they got her.
I was gonna say, we can start. Where we started? We started right now. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody! Welcome to the Head Cannon Circus podcast. I'm your
Yeah.
host, the Duke of all blurs, the Duke of all nightskins, the Lord of this podcast. I guess I don't know. Are you playing music?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to put you into the trance.
You gotta warn people first before you play music, man. I'm like,
People
oh my
love
god, is
music.
one of my tabs open? Like,
People love music listening to podcasts.
Thanks everybody for joining us today. We have an excellent show for you today. We're proudly presenting a proverbial paradise of prize fighters and pugilists in this program. Post with. I practice that all day.
Yeah,
So
I
be
see that. That
prepared.
was very V and Vendetta of you.
Alliteration, that's kids love that. The Gen Zs are all about their alliteration nowadays. But of course, I got the Muhammad Ali to my George Foreman. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I love it. The boxing theme is going pretty tough.
See, I did.
Yeah. I
It's
got
synergy.
my green all-stars on. I figured I had the Hulk on it, which is the ultimate, bruiser in the Marvel universe. So I figured kind of get a little synergy here. But I'm doing good, man. Just like being in a place to be.
Yeah, we're here making a way out of no way. We should put that on a t-shirt. The Black national motto: make a way out of no way.
Let me tell you about some disrespect that I encountered. So I was talking to Coach Boo, who's a listener to the show, and he's like, remind Jason when he does the one sentence review to say what the show or movie is, because when you're clipping it, people don't know until blah blah. And I go, oh, okay, whatever. And he goes, because I was trying to watch that one sentence review for that show y'all were talking about. What's it called? Ghetto Girl. I said, Ghetto Girl. I said, you talking about Moon Girl? He go, yeah, that's it. I said, you know what? We can't talk no more. I gotta hang up. You can't do that, girl, like that.
That does sound like something my dad would say too.
Right.
You know that
people would you be making up names?
that Jungle Bunny show with the
right. Ghetto Girl.
I don't know. Ghetto
man.
Girl.
We got to do better.
Well, I will make sure for our one sentence review today to mention the name of the show that we're reviewing, because just for you, Coach Boo, because we don't want the people to be confused. Speaking of being confused, confuse the algorithm and stop getting all your outright stuff and click, share, subscribe to our podcast, to our website, to our YouTube channel, because I'm broke, guys. I need money. I'm turning 40. I ain't got no dreams. I ain't got no aspirations. This is it. I need you.
It would help the algorithms. Slavery was a choice. Blue Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Power to the people. I'll do it all. We'll just jump on both sides of the fence.
Whatever we need to do.
We'll jump on both sides of the fence to get the algorithms working.
We also have our Head Cannon Circus website at www.headcannonsircus.com, where you can log in and suggest things for us. rewatch old episodes and listen to old podcasts. Comment as well. Jason loves coming with comments and reading them, and maybe we'll read them on this show if you put them on a webcast or a website, or put them in YouTube. Put them on. I don't know if they do comments on Spotify, but if you did, we'll read them. So please comment. Please interact with us, because that's the only way.
Watching the show. My bad. I gotta so you can see the beautiful website.
Yeah. Don't click on anything right now, because but look at it. It's cool. Got the latest episode right there. If you go to videos, you'll probably see this video right now because we live. So you can even look at the live video through the website. Go, please. And eventually I'm going to write a blog on why I hate the Greatest Showman. So, and I'll never watch it, so that people can stop asking why I'll never watch the show, because reasons. They're really good reasons.
Well, okay, okay. I'm gonna give you a hypothetical situation. Suppose this is really, really attractive woman that you know. We both know, and she says The Greatest Showman is her favorite movie, and she really wants to watch it with you on a date. Will you watch it?
Ooh. I honestly have no morals, so yes. No, depends. Look, I'm a scumbag, so I got to get something out of this deal, all right? Like, if I'm going to throw everything I believe in out the window, I got to get something out of it, right? A friendly handshake or something.
Friendly handshake.
A hug, kiss on the cheek, something. If I'm going to throw my morals
Thank you for a wonderful time watching a white man sing. Because I was sitting through this torturous situation, I think I deserve a hearty handshake. Less professional, more soothing. Just really rub the back of my hand as you do it.
Like really strong, and you make eye contact while we're shaking hands too. Like, or you can dress up as my dad and tell me I did a good job and you're proud of me. That would be great too.
Feels like a warm weighted blanket.
Either way, it's got to be something big before I can do that. It's got to be huge, as the former president would say. Huge, ginormous,
small hands.
He's got little tiny baby hands. Well, we've got several great things to review today. Of course, just came out recently, Creed 3. That's going to be the number one thing we're going to review. It's we'll do that too. Then, because it's a boxing episode, and I can't fight. Honestly, I'm just going to throw that out there. Y'all meet me on the streets. Y'all winning. But we're doing a boxing thing today. So we're also going to review a retro review of Rocky 3, because it's Creed 3, Rocky 3, it's Synergy. And then to round it out, we have our anime review of Baki as well. So strap in, put your mouth guard in, lace up your gloves, and get ready, because we're about to knock you out the park. Metaphorically, because as I said, I cannot fight. I am a wuss. I'm just going to shoot you.
And we don't got any money, so we can't really afford to pay the lawsuit off either. So no. Here we go. I got to find my notes. Still dominating the boxing world, Adonis Creed is thriving in his career and family life. When Damien, a childhood friend and former boxing prodigy, resurfaces after serving time in prison, he's eager to prove that he deserves his shot in the ring. The face-off between former friends is more than just a fight. To settle the score, Adonis must put his future on the line to battle Damien, a fighter who has nothing to lose. That was what Google said about Creed 3. Now, if you don't know, now you know. We do a one-sentence review for everything we do. Jason, go ahead and hit us with your one-sentence review for Creed 3. See what I did there? I said it again. My one-sentence review of Creed 3 is, this is exactly why I don't go to high school reunions.
Damn, I kind of don't want to say mine now. That was clever. My one-sentence review for Creed 3 is, this was a knockout. See? Boxing.
Oh, I get it.
I know things about
straight to the
point. All right, Jason, let's go ahead and start the discussion here. I like this way better than Creed 2. It was a chore to get through Creed 2 for me. But I had to see it in order to see Creed 3 because I wouldn't know what's going on. How would I ever know what's going on in here if I didn't see
Who's
Creed
that little
2?
girl? Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
But for you, I know how you don't really like Michael B. Jordan as a person or as an actor. I don't know if you have beef with them.
Oh, you're not gonna do this. Don't put me in the same box with Joe Budden. Unless it's about income, then I want to be in the same box with Joe Budden. Don't do that to me. But
But
continue.
this is his directorial debut. This is the first movie he's ever directed, and I think he might need a career change, man. Like I think he did a really well job directing this movie, really good job directing this movie. Like, and he has said in many interviews that he took some inspiration from anime and these fight scenes, and you can definitely tell that there is an anime influence, and it makes it. And I know you said this when we were finished watching the movie. It gives it a whole nother style other than any other Rocky movie that has preceded it, and it's for the better in my opinion. Because watching Creed 2, I was like, this shit is boring, and this one, I'm like, oh my god, like what's going to happen? Like, like only thing I had to push back on the general aesthetics of the movie is at the end where they're wearing the white trunks and the boxing gloves and the black trunks and the black boxing gloves. Like, all right, that's on the nose. It's good side versus evil. That's on the nose. But other than that, like, I was really enjoying this movie. It was fun. It was, and here. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Anything that Jonathan Majors is in, like
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for you. Go ahead.
Like, I'm just gonna throw this out here. I'm gonna be completely impartial, or not impartial, completely partial when it comes to Jonathan Majors. And once again, he comes in and turns out a fantastic performance that is just like, it seems like he's in a different movie than everybody else and everything that he's in. He's just like, he just elevates it so much. And like his Damien or Dame, as they call him throughout the movie,
right?
Like for most of it, you were like, oh, he's just an earnest, honest dude. And then you're like, oh no, he planned this, but still, like it's like he brings a lot of emotion to that character. He brings a lot of, I keep saying the word pathos like I know what it means, but pathos to the character.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Like, I mean, just kind of rewind it and go forward. So the characterizations were really good in this. I mean, from Creed, from Adonis, how he's playing Creed at this point, from Tessa Thompson. I mean,
Tessa
she
Thompson's great.
gives a moment, when it's like the decision where he has to fight and she's talking. Like, I even turned to Alex at the time and I was like, this chick is acting her ass off in this movie.
Me and Jared thought you were talking shit.
I'm gonna clarify my beef with Michael B. Jordan. It's not that I don't like the guy. I think he's probably a wonderful human being, and I think he's a great guy. I think it is some stiffness with his acting that it's hard for me to shake. In this movie, it really encompassed that because you get Jonathan Majors, and I'm gonna eat some crow on him too, and we'll do that near the end too. But you get Jonathan Majors and his mannerisms of how he plays Dame from a guy who's been in prison his whole life is like on the nose. I mean, the fidgetiness, the looking over your shoulder all the time, the hovering over your food to eat. It is a lot of things that, like, I've known people who've been in jail for a long time that exhibit these attitudes, those mannerisms, and those functions. I thought was really good.
Even to the way
Phylicia
he speaks, kind of too. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Phylicia Rashad, I mean, she got to be in more stuff, but I understand you got to mold the black youth. So I get it.
Time out. All
right.
Time out. Phylicia Rashad is one of the greatest actresses of all time. I don't understand. Yes. I do understand because she is molding future actors and young minds right now. But like, y'all need to put her in more stuff. Like, seriously, like more movies. I mean, like when we talk about the greatest black female actors, I feel like a lot of people don't really speak on Phylicia Rashad, but like, damn, we messed up. Maybe she doesn't want to be an actor. I mean, maybe she wants to just, but like, seriously, like, she shines in this movie. She shines in this movie.
Right. And I know she's in a different age that people want to name, but when I think of like Felicity Rashad, I think of like the Lena Hornes, the Debbie Allens. Sorry, I lost my train of thought on one. But like that group of women that were
Eartha
in that
Kitt.
time. Yeah, there's Eartha Kitt. That's what I was thinking about. When we were growing up, there was these prominent black women actors that just commanded the screen. I mean, yes. So, but yeah, she's felt amazing in this. They finally give her something to do. They give her some
Yeah,
emotion that she can display, and just beautiful. I loved it. Even down to the daughter, who I think is actually really deaf in real
she's
life.
actually deaf in real life. Yeah,
She does a phenomenal job on it. So the acting was great. The story was very intriguing. Now, again, it's a Rocky movie. It's going to be very paint by numbers, but Rocky's always been about the emotion and the characterizations. And that's why the stories have always been shallow. Like I look at Rocky 3, which we'll talk about later on. The stories have always been shallow because they want you to invest in the characters and not be trying to keep up with the story beats. Even so much simple that I think one of the biggest gripes I have with the movie is because it's so simplistic that something major happens and they just brush it off. Like Dame said a hit on a man
yeah. He should
and
go to
they
prison
brushed that off
again.
like that was nothing to worry about. Like that was just that sucked that he did that. Now we gotta fight him. Like, hold on.
Like, why don't you just call the cops and let them deal with
Right,
it?
right. But they do it in service of just keeping the story simple so we can keep moving along. But it bothered me through the whole movie that like it's got hard to hit.
And
Nobody's talking about it.
the one thing that also really bothered me about this movie, but it really kind of bothers me about the whole Creed franchise, is Adonis never loses. And like when you're talking about a man, and he lost in the first movie once or
I
twice.
thought he
maybe.
lost in the second one too, because that's how he
No, he got knocked out, but Drago was disqualified.
Oh, gotcha.
So he didn't
Okay,
lose.
okay,
He just got beat
okay.
up.
Gotcha.
And I feel like, especially when you have a person who literally has nothing, right? Who comes out of prison with nothing, and you have another person who has everything. Like he's had the career he was going to have. He's got fame, fortune, good family. Like he's never knocked down a peg, right? Like he's never like in this movie. Like I feel like the reason why they were able to do all this emotional stuff at the end is because Creed comes out on top. Spoiler alert.
Well,
It's
I feel like we gotta preface this to that. I do feel like, and like how this stuff go. If Creed 1 and 2, he was getting the brakes beat off of him like Rocky did and came back and won, a lot of the put your fist in the air brothers would have been, oh, this brother be just getting knocked out by everybody. He can't even that would have been the narrative. Like, oh, he can't even squabble. He getting fucked up. So I kind of feel like, I hate to say this, I kind of feel like that's been in Michael B. Jordan's mind in his movies. Like, look, I can take some L's, but I can't take a major L like Rocky did. Like, they gonna get on me, man.
Thing. He could have lost and still and been like in Rocky, Rocky 1 or in Creed 1, where he loses but still gains respect, where he doesn't get beat up, right? And also, because here's the thing in this movie. When he goes to fight Dame, because that's what's going to happen, guys. We know how these movies work. They're saying that Dame is the favorite, and that doesn't make any damn sense to me. He is a 1-0 fighter fighting the heavyweight champion, retired. He's retired, but he's only been retired for like 3 years, right? And he's beaten everybody else. All right. So no, Dame, who is 1-0, is not the champ, or not the favorite. I literally the next day after watching this movie saw a guy who had been retired for 3 years go up a weight class and beat the brakes off the dude who's supposed to be the man. All right. Don't give me this. Oh, he's an underdog when he's a multi-millionaire boxing phenom.
Right.
Like, why are we doing this right here? But I do like how this movie definitely deals with toxic masculinity, men's emotional health and emotional well-being, and also with all that, they fight.
Right. With all that being said, you still you got it out the same way every nigga in the hood get it out. Knocking somebody's brains out.
Go talk about it, but still go square up on that dude over there real quick.
Right. So, but I was gonna say that too. I do feel like in this movie they do a great job of putting the black women in roles that are very empowering, but also very supportive. And I say this in a sense because I've been really adamant about we don't ever see good, positive black couples in Hollywood movies. And even if you want to make a comment of like Adonis holding his emotions was a bit toxic, the point that Tessa was never like, I'm just gonna leave if you don't want, like, it was never that shit. Like, right. It was her like being supportive, even though she knew that he wasn't really trying to give it up and wasn't trying to really get into it. She still supported him, but also knew that her trying to get him to talk about it was the best thing that she could do for him. And that was a very, very good thing. Even Felicia Rashad, like keeping Dame away from Adonis, even though when we go further and a little bit further, I have issues with that too. But her doing that was like her being a mother and being like, I need him to leave that street side alone by every means possible to get him on the right path so he can be a success and blah, blah, blah. That brings me to my point. The movie doesn't, because it's in service of trying to move so quickly, the movie doesn't do a really good job of speaking to what made Dame such a bad guy, because everything we saw up until the heel turn, quote unquote, he took up for Adonis. He like pulled the gat because he was like, nah, you ain't gonna do my mans like that. Like he was respectful, he was cordial, he was like, yeah, like
I don't understand how he got 18 years for pulling a gun on a dude.
They mentioned that he was out and got back in. Like they did make a mention that he did get out because they were in the group home together, and then like
they did were in the group home together when they were kids.
Right. I'm saying they said he got out, and then he makes a comment about being out. Like he was like, "Oh, I got out again." Like this, like it's in the movie that he makes a comment. This wasn't like 18 years by itself. It was something in between. So
either way, like I know, maybe it's just me, and I just like, man, Dame's totally beat Adonis's ass. And like I get it, he mad.
Yeah, no, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that they kind of just heel turned him for the movie, which is fine. It's a Rocky movie. Okay, we get it. Now goes to your point that you mentioned to me earlier. I think the hardest thing about this movie is that everything I liked about this movie is everything I hated about this movie.
Exactly.
And people were like, that's insane. And I'm like, well, it's not, because I hate to say this, when you go into these movies, you have a certain expectation of what's going to happen. You know it's going to be a montage. You know the hero's going to figure out a way to pull it out at the beginning, beat up pretty badly. And you know it's always going to be some emotional scene between the main person and the woman, or his love of his life. And so it's just some paint by number stuff in Rocky. They hit all those notes, but like you mentioned before, Michael B. Jordan's camera work and how he shoots the fights and how he shot everything was brilliant. The problem is it did not feel like Rocky. And for it being the third entry into just this spinoff, it felt sometimes it took me out because it was so beautiful. It was like, oh, I'm not even caring about the fight. I'm just, engulfed in what's going on around. The other part too that I think I hated, that I think is a trope in Rocky that they should have kept in, that they took out, was you get a point during the fight where it's just where the rounds just start flowing through, and they just show a little bit of boxing, and they have like the round lady holding up the numbers as it goes through, so you know that it's a progression in the fight. This one, it kind of was like first round, second round, do this fancy stuff, 12th round. And I was like, I think all of us were like, what?
Round.
Like, we were like,
it's only been 3 minutes.
Right. Anyway, that's what I said. So like all the stuff in here I liked, I thought was so dope. If this would have been the first one and all this would have been in here, I'd have been head over heels. But then like even like the punch that knocked the sweat off his back was so great. But we had seen nothing like this in Rocky or in the first two Creeds.
Or the double punch where they punch each other at the same time.
Right. Which is complete utter anime right there. That's complete utter anime.
Right out of Dragon Ball Z. Any other show did.
Yeah. Even Baku, they had a scene like that. And that was like, anyway, so it just, like it made me feel like this wasn't a Rocky anymore. But to the degree, this was the first movie that didn't have Rocky, and it was the first movie that I felt like was Creed's movie. Like, it didn't have any tales. It didn't have any connections to Rocky. It literally was just, this is his story. So I respected that. But again, I'm here for it, man. I can't.
Let's
I think that's a
talk
nitpick.
about
I think it's nitpicky for me. That's
the
it.
elephant in the room, the absence of Sylvester Stallone in this. I know the reason why Sylvester Stallone isn't in this movie is because he has some long seating animosity with a producer of the movie, not with Michael B. Jordan or anybody else, but with someone who actually owns the rights to Rocky, even though it's all come from Sylvester Stallone's writing and directing,
Yeah,
but a
correct.
producer owns right. I felt his absence, honestly.
Yes.
Even though this was like 100% Creed's movie, Adonis's movie, it was kind of strange to me that he's going to go fight this huge antagonist in his life without Rocky, and it was like, don't even call him to be like, "Yo, Unc, what's up?" Like,
Well, yeah, or even that moment. I think the moment could have been, remember they sell the initial fight to be like, oh, this is going to be like the Rocky story again. This underdog coming from. I think him going to Rocky to have that conversation about fighting a guy who has nothing to lose, a la how Rocky was in 1. What
or
is
how
that?
Clubber Lane was in 3.
Right. Yeah, facts. But yeah, having that conversation, I think, would have been a nice touch. Even if you'd been like, hey, look, I'm still going to go with Doc in my corner, and I know you retired, I know you don't want a piece of this, but like, I just need to know, like, what is that like? When you have nothing else, and you like, and that kind of could have gave Rocky his little moment to speech and blah blah blah. But did I feel like I missed him in the movie? No. I know you felt that way. I didn't feel that way. I did feel like there was a looming, though. I agree with that. Like, it felt like if we didn't know the behind the scenes stuff and I would have walked into it without knowing that, I would have been waiting in the movie to when he would have had a cameo. I agree with that.
Where's the guy whose movie this is?
Right. Or was. Like,
Like,
I'd have been looking for it. But with that even being said, I think that's part of the brilliance of this movie to a degree, that you're a spinoff of a beloved character. This dude has a statue in Philly. He was a fake human being.
Legitimate statue.
And he's a beloved guy. And you're able to do a spinoff, the third one of the series, and still pull this off and not make people forget about Rocky, but also showed their appreciation and respect, but also made it something new. Only if Rian Johnson could have figured this out for The Last Jedi, maybe the third other trilogy would have been better.
Well, maybe if he'd done the last 2, it would have been good. But you had to go back to old JJ, who's like, "Fuck all
Mystery
this
box.
Mystery box. What's in the box? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know at all."
Poor writing, aka poor writing. Anyway, tangent.
The worst part about The Last Jedi is Rise of Skywalker. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there.
Yes, call it. Yes, facts. And I think the last part in there I have about the movie in the notes I had was that I do feel like Ed Harris, his name Ed Harris, Wire, the trainer.
Yeah.
Or Ed
Wood Harris. Yeah,
Wood Harris. Yes,
white
yes.
guy.
Yes. Yeah, you are correct.
Ed Harris was in this movie.
Side note, it was like no white people in this movie, which I thought was amazing. Anyway,
Drago was in this movie for a minute.
Yeah, and the guy that's the cut guy that Apollo had.
Stitches?
Yeah.
Stitches is
Hispanic.
Whatever.
Was he?
He's Hispanic. I'm 95% sure he's Hispanic.
Oh,
but that doesn't mean you can't be white and Hispanic. I'm just saying that
he
is
Venezuelan. Anyway, I think I lost the lead on that one.
But Drago's white. He's from Russia or Ukraine or wherever. That's white.
Damn, I forgot what I was going to say next because I just got on the white man thing. See how white people do this? You see how colonization does? It got in my brain.
It's just an affects your brain. You can't think of nothing else.
Like, so I'm just going to defer to you so I can remember what I was going to say. So go ahead.
I don't have nothing to say besides the fact that this movie was great. Oh, I do have something to say.
No, there you go.
You know how sometimes movies end and you're like, "Oh, that was nice and sweet," but then you like think about them like, "Oh, this didn't end well for everybody." Like, Dame is definitely going to go back to prison. He's definitely not going to box again. Like, this didn't end well for him. Like, because like he got all this hype, right? For beating the world champion with no professional fights, 1-0, and then the guy comes back and beats his ass. Well, not beats his ass. No, he locks him out, beats his ass.
Yeah. He knocks him out.
He ain't never gonna get. He's an older person, so he's never gonna get another fight again. And
you don't think so?
No, that's not how it works. He might do some charity stuff, but
I beg to differ only because the initial champion that he did beat, I feel like they need to have at least a rematch. And I'm assuming that Donnie's going to forfeit the titles. So the title's going to be up for now someone to fight for. Like, I feel like he can make a good argument to say my name should be thrown in the hat to fight someone to at least get a chance to fight the title for the title.
Yeah, but but Dame is not going to be in that conversation. They're gonna, because firstly, it was supposed to be Drago and the other dude anyway.
Facts.
So he got to go and fight at least. If he bounces back from this, he's got to fight Drago or the dude that he beat the first time. Right. And these are professional fighters. You might have beat me once with your tricks, your dirty tricks. You ain't gonna beat me again.
Right.
And then he hasn't even fought Drago. And Drago nearly murdered Creed, like nearly killed him. So it's just like if Adonis or no reporter finds out that he went to jail with the guy that broke the dude's hand and doesn't put two and two together, and he doesn't go back to prison, like he's a 1-on-1 fighter. Like, come on, they're not going to give him another shot. They're just gonna. He's just unless Adonis throws him more bones. And, you're the only. I vacated. I had to beat your ass. Doesn't know who the man is. You my bitch. But now you fight for me. Go out there and make me some money.
Oh, there it is. Harris Wood. I just want to give him his flowers. That's what I was trying to get to. That was the point I was making. Yeah. Yes. Oh, he's really, really I want to give him his flowers because he's been good in a lot of things, and I think we never give him that respect. But they definitely beefed up his role in this one because he did kind of almost play the Rocky-esque role in this one to a degree. Yes. And he shows out. He does a great job on here, and I think he deserves a lot of respect. And shout out to Michael B. Jordan making sure that role was made for him to actually have more influence in this movie. So,
yeah, and 100%. He definitely had more to do in this last movie than he did in the other two movies, but he definitely took the ball and ran with it, or took the basketball and shoot it through the hoop. I don't know sports.
And he was a hater like Mickey, but he wasn't as bad as Mickey. Look, he still was like, nah, bro, you ain't got this under control.
I still am under the belief that most of the people that these fighters have around them are bums. Like, because the last movie they're like, you can't fight this guy. It's like, what do you mean I can't fight this guy? That's my job. Like in Rocky 3, Mickey's like, I don't want you to do it. He's like, how am I going to feed my kids, Mick?
He's a bum. I don't want nothing to do with them.
Like, this is my job, but like I can't like be afraid of people, especially if they're coming up. I got to fight whoever comes my way. Also, like,
outside of maybe Mickey feeling like Clubber Lang could just whoop Rocky, what else was wrong with Clubber except for him just being black? Like, we didn't. You think about Clubber Lang, it was like, I guess we got to say that for the Rocky 3 review.
Let's get into this after. Let's do our rating for this movie. Let's get into that because I got some things to say about this movie.
Okay, let's get into the ratings. All right, rating system. Right. Let's roll.
Okay, let's go with our. If you don't know, now you know. For everything we do, we give it a rating system. We think something is good, we give it a head. If we think something is mid, we give it a cannon. If we think something is garbage, we give it a circus. I think that's how the rating system works.
Yes.
All right, yes. Jason. All around performances, how would you rate this movie?
This is getting some head. I was getting some head. Yeah, it's great performances.
I would also second that. The performances. Jonathan Majors is a national treasure, people. Like,
that brings me to Jonathan Majors' point real quick, because I know a couple of shows ago, a while back, I made a comment that like I feel like everything that Jonathan Majors is in, other people outperform him. I would take that back because his Kang performance was the best thing about Ant-Man and Wasp, and Diamond Dame was the best thing about Creed 3. Mm-hmm. So that Jonathan Majors and Jason, you made the point that maybe it was written that way, and I tried to refute that. But looking at these performances, it makes me feel like, okay, yes, he's probably right. Maybe those roles were written that way
for Lovecraft Country.
He said wasn't the best thing of Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, because Bernie Smith is in that, and then she's just beautiful and awesome. And of course,
okay. just and then also, point, but still,
Also, he's surrounded by freaking greats too, man. He got Courtney Vance and Michael K. Williams before he died. Like, come
I
on,
understand.
he was fresh out of college when he did that. All right, and he
I'm
was
not
still
saying
holding
it's
his
not a
own.
reason for what he was.
You
I'm
were
just saying how I
terrible.
felt about his performances. Yes. Shame.
Shame on you.
Shame.
Let's go with the overall story on this and when a rating from canon to head or head to canon to circus, whatever we do. Jason, what would you rate the story of this here movie?
The story on this one, I'm probably going to go a circus on it because it is paint by numbers. Not saying I didn't enjoy it. It's just no one's going to come out of this being like, man, they really did a number on how they did Rocky. Like,
yeah, they really reinvented the story formula on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a canon. As you said, it's paint by numbers in it, but I still pretty much was engrossed in the story in this. Now, this is a boxing movie, so we got to say, how are the fight scenes in this? Given from a,
I'm gonna go canon. They're nicely choreographed, but I think it does leave a little bit of the realism of boxing out. Because I'll give that for Rocky, and we know that from the behind the scenes. Look, Rocky actually was taking some of these hits.
No, time out. We ain't gonna do this. There's no realism in any of these Rocky movies. All right.
No, I'm talking about as in it is legitimately documented that Rocky was getting punched in the face to get these shots. I know that Michael B. Jordan wasn't getting punched in the face for these moments.
And got knocked out.
In this movie, I'm saying he did not. He's not getting punched in the face for this one. And even he admitted that these fights were inspired by anime, which literally is the most exuberant, outlandish form of fighting that you're ever going to get to watch.
I've seen these Rocky movies, and they are throwing haymakers. No one's fainting. No one's setting up no jabs. No one's even freaking blocking. They're just taking punches in the face like it's hard as they can.
It's the 80s, baby. We're tough guys in the 80s. What are you talking about? No, have you not seen a Hitman and Sugar Ray? They just got them in the ring and started punching each other
in those fights. All right, let's go to our overall review. If we go from 1, it's straight garbage. It's stinky buttholes. If it's 5, it's the best thing we've ever seen ever of all time. It's the greatest movie we'll ever see. And these numbers do not correlate to one another whatsoever.
Thanks in your head.
Rent free. Jason, what would you rate this movie from 1 to 5?
I'm gonna give it a 3.8.
Jesus, that's too low. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. You're a terrible human being, Jason. Why do you hate black people so much?
Somebody got to do it on the show, brother. Somebody got to do it. It helps the algorithm. See,
we have our own Candace Owens.
White people weren't the only ones that had slaves.
Yeah. Didn't you know black people bought slaves too?
Yeah. They had to buy them from somebody. Yeah. See, other end of the algorithm, baby.
I mean, that's why we didn't watch The Women King, because, they were slavery, not us pure innocent white folk.
Yeah. Like, not us.
Not us. I didn't do it.
Not us. I feel like we would not be getting this stuff off if Lisa was on the show today.
Oh, no. She's spending time with her family, so that's why she's not here. And that's why we don't have anybody watching right now, because she's the reason why people watch. They don't want to watch two ugly ass dudes. They want to watch me talk about things. So if you're missing Lisa, she'll be back next week, hopefully. Or never again. Maybe it'll be Jaron. Maybe we'll bring back Jaron. Maybe we'll bring in Alex. Maybe we'll bring in another strange person who we haven't even met yet. No, Lisa.
That lacks melanin, because we got to make sure.
Yeah, we got to bring in one white person because it can't be too black.
We'll get canceled. So.
We haven't got canceled already. It's hard to get canceled.
Maybe that's why nobody's watching, because we're canceled and we just don't know it. Nobody gave us a notice.
It's hard to get canceled if you were never started in the first place.
True.
It's like, why are we going to cancel them?
We have not even got the pick. We haven't even got the pilot picked up yet. So we just keep recording until we do.
Yeah. One day they're going to give us some money. All right.
One day.
Having become the world heavyweight champion, former working-class boxer Rocky Balboa is rich and famous beyond his wildest dreams, which has made him lazy and overconfident. In a double whammy, he loses his trainer and father figure Mickey, and then has to title Sodom by an arrogant, menacing challenger, Clubber Lane. Turning to his former adversary, Apollo Creed, for help, Rocky struggles to get his old fire back. That is what Google says about the movie Rocky 3, now playing in 1982 when it came out. If you don't know, now you know. For everything we do a one-sentence review. Jason, please go ahead and give us your one-sentence review for the movie Rocky 3.
My one-sentence review for the movie Rocky 3 is, I turned off the movie once the black guy won.
Done. And for me is, I pity the fool who hasn't seen this movie.
Yes.
This
is our retro review. This is gonna be short and sweet. Rocky 3 is awesome. It's my favorite Rocky. Like,
don't we have like when we're gonna pick which one's our favorite Rockies? Didn't you have a game for that?
I just put it up for the people, the viewers, but it's my favorite one of all time. Like, Rocky 3 has the right balance of serious storyline about Rocky being soft, but also has all the comical glory that comes to pursue. Because remember, Rocky 3 is the moment. You know what I call it? It's, in Fast and Furious, like 5 is when it got like
jump the shark.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
Rocky 3 is the moment where it's like, oh, we about to get outrageous. And so Clubber Lang probably has the best lines in all the Rocky franchise. I mean, him propositioning Adrian is the best thing I've ever seen.
I'll show you what real history.
Right. It ranks up there with "Get away from her, you bitch." It is epic.
And it's the first utterance of Mr. T's most famous line, "I pity the fool."
Yes, yeah, it probably is. You probably fact check that, and I wouldn't be surprised. But everything
he wasn't famous before this movie, so this is
not as much. Yeah, I mean, hell, even Thunderlips, Hulk Hogan, which racist, was not the Hulk Hogan that we know. He kind of literally became the Hulk Hogan we know after this movie.
Yeah,
made so much money, and they kind of put him more on the map. He was famous amongst wrestling people, but not famous amongst like everybody. And this movie does definitely do it for him.
Speaking of races, Paulie's a piece of shit.
Yes, but he's always been. And I don't know why they keep putting that joke in the movies, but I guess that's the realism part of it.
This dude is like 70, and he's supposed to be Adrian's brother. Like they do. Like,
first of all, he's abusive to Adrian, all in the originals.
Like, why are you hanging out with this dude? Like, he all mad
and he's a racist.
And he's a racist. We can't be down here with these colors. Like,
right. And
you in a room full of black people, Paulie. You can't be saying that shit.
Well, he's white. He can say that shit, especially back then.
Yeah.
No, also what's great about this movie too is just the villain matches the energy of the hero for once. Like, Apollo was great, but it was always like Apollo had to be holier than thou. Yeah. Like, he had to feel like the champion. He had to feel like above Rocky, because that's what made the underdog story. This one, like, you could tell Clubber getting it from the mud. And Rocky, yeah, he's more fancy, but we know Rocky's history. We know Rocky got it from the mud. So their interactions is definitely on some, like, dog, like, I was you. You could be me, but but you can't beat me to be me. And our Clubber's like, nah, you taking this L, and you taking it early. That's the biggest thing too. Rocky takes that L early, and then beats him so bad he kills Mickey. That's the best thing ever. Like, that's a double win, bro. That's a TKO, so 1KO.
He kills Mickey before he even beats him. That's how bad he beats him. He goes back in time to kill Mickey. That's how bad he beats him. Which is like, that was one of the things that really annoyed me. It's like, Mickey, why? Like, if you don't want to watch him box, don't watch him box. Like, why are you like, I can't do it no more? He's gonna kill you. It's like, that's his job, Mickey. Like, and then you find out that Rocky was only fighting with has-beens the whole entire time. He's like, there has-beens or never was, and you're like, do you fix this? You're like, mostly. This guy's an actual boxer. He's gonna beat your ass, and he does.
Which makes me think, and it's just my headcanon here, that makes me think Apollo Creed was way past his prime by the time of Rocky 2.
Yeah,
because Apollo never challenges again, and like, because he arguably, how to fight, that he should get a rematch. He beat Rocky the first time. He loses the second time. He should technically get a rematch for the third, which never happens.
a few years have passed since Rocky wins the title, and then he fights Caballero for the first time because he defends the belt 10 times,
Yeah.
and like he's not fighting, 5 times a year. He's fighting probably like once or twice. So that at least if that's 10 years, that's 5 years at least passed since he won the first time, or maybe a little bit less if he's fighting like 3 fights a year. So Carl Weathers was probably like 35 when he shot that. So he's probably in his 40s.
Or just been in the sense that Apollo Creed like never gets another shot at it, and Mickey admits that he put a bunch of bums up for him.
Yeah.
It just makes me think. I doubt he would have called Apollo Creed a bum if he'd have fought him a third time. It makes me think that Apollo lost a belt and was like, "Yeah, I'm done." So, which means that he was probably past his prime in that second fight. Then,
Yes, I agree with you. And also with Rocky 3, let's also think in the beginning montage when Rocky's fighting all these bums, like 9 of them were black. And I'm like, he just beating up black dudes this whole entire movie. That's his thing.
You know why? Because Paulie was picking the fights. That's why.
Paulie was picking the fights. You fight that dude over there. That big lip, wide nose dude.
Right? Paulie was like, "Hey, I need 2 colors to train for 6 months for a fight. Who's down? Put down the code 45, please."
You know what's funny? This movie had a lot of montages in it too. Like the first whole 10 minutes of the movie is just one long montage. And I'm like, that's an expired choice to just throw this out there at the beginning of the movie. Don't even say nothing else. Just montage away. But I was thinking to myself, like, we have lost the art of the montage in a lot of these other movies. Like, because you get so much information in such a quick time, and a lot of these movies just leave it out, so you're just feeling yourself confused. Like, how do you get from A to B? And there was no point when you could have had a montage and it would have been great, but not in the beginning of the movie.
Nope. Also, you realize in this movie that a lot of stuff in here is pretty problematic, and we're like, "Oh, it's the 80s.
Oh my god,
we really just let things slide."
Look, firstly, Polly number 1 was just the worst, and then as soon as they got to LA. And he's like, you can't be fighting here. Look at these people. I'm like, dude, you said that out loud, my dude. And they didn't do nothing to him. Nothing.
Right.
And like, he's sitting here yelling at the bums in the street. And like, oh my God. Like, why do you hang out with this guy, Rocky? Like, obviously you're not a racist, Rocky. I understand you're from Philadelphia, so you're a little bit of a racist, but you're not a big racist like that scumbag over there. Why are you
like he's an environmental racist. Paulie's like, "I'm choosing this life."
I was like, I just don't understand why they just can't go back to where they came from.
Right. Look, you beat up like 7 of them. You don't need to fight one more, Rocky. You've proven your superior to the black man. Let's move on.
And in the training montage, when Apollo finally starts training Rocky, and he's trying to train Rocky like he's like to get the rhythm in. Paulie says something like, "He ain't no color boy. He can't dance like that." Oh, damn,
there's a lot. And
it's 82.
I feel like Carl Weathers is like, "Sylvester, you got to give me a scene where I slap him. Got to give me a scene where I slap him."
Open a palm right across the face.
But yeah, no, it does is like. But also, I think the only negative I have in this movie is after all that work he did with Apollo, Rocky just goes back to being Rocky at the end to win it.
Yeah,
so it was like literally all that other stuff was useless because he just went back to being Rocky at the end, just getting slugged in his face to win it. So it was like, what was the point? Was it just the point?
He was like, and like he was like, "Oh, I'm not listening to you, no, Apollo. I know what I'm doing. You can go sit down now. I got this."
Yeah, like Paulie was right about you guys. Sorry,
you couldn't have figured out in the first fight. Just take a whole bunch of punches till he falls asleep. Like, come on.
And I get it. I know guys that are going to be like, "Well, really, he was mimicking the Ali rope-a-dope against George Foreman." I get it. We understand that. The point we're bringing it up is that why do all that other crap? If that's what you realize halfway through the fight, why not tell your trainer, Like, oh yeah, I think I can just tire him out now. Like,
Yeah, I think this is me trying to knock him out was not a very good plan in the first place. He's like the size of that mohawk. I was not going to knock him out.
yeah, I saw the
So
way Adrian looked at him in his eyes when he propositioned her, and I knew at that moment I wasn't man enough, so I got to figure another strategy.
Rocky should have said, "She's not deep enough for you, cover." It's not going to be pleasurable for you at all.
You're going to mess up my fit. All right, we're going to shenanigans. Rating 1 being trash, 5 being great. What do we rank Rocky 3 for the PS3?
I still think my favorite is Rocky 4 because he fights communism. But this is still a great movie. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, absolutely. I love this movie. Like I said, I'm definitely right there with you. 4 out of 5, man. It's great. Watching it again made me just realize how much I love this movie. Also, I'm shopping my script to Michael B. Jordan for Creed 4, where Michael B. Jordan ends racism by fighting a handicap match, gauntlet match against cops, politicians, and judges. And it's going to open just like Rocky 4, where like Dame is going to be trying to fight racism, and he's going to die.
He's going to die.
Be like, if he dies, he dies because he's just another ninja in the streets. And then it's going to bring Apollo back out to have to fight. Adonis is back out of retirement to fight racism.
So you know what I got to do?
Racism. He's going to they're going to be like, oh, you thought you could just beat racism on one form? It's a systematic thing. You have to beat all the systems to end racism. But
he's going to like the Department of Education and beating up people there.
Right.
The IRS beating up people there. Going to the major credit bureaus like, I'm coming for you.
Right. And they're going to have that one scene before he fights racism where Rocky's like, yeah, I once had a buddy named Paulie. He was pretty fucking racist too. And they're going to have that moment where Rocky overcame racism in his own whiteness to give Apollo Creed the strength to fight it. But then the biggest moment of the whole movie is going to be at the very end. Adonis is going to pick up the mic and go, if I could change, they can change. We can change.
We all change.
And he's going to drop the mic, and then racism is going to be over. Y'all thought it was President Obama. No. Creed 4 is what's going to officially end racism all over America and the world, guys. Michael B. Jordan, take my script, buddy. Take my script.
Every Republican's gonna be like, now I get it. We were wrong. Oh my God, I never got it until now. Oh my God, we were
when he uppercutted the justice system, it went off in my head like a grenade. Like boom, that's what they're talking about. When he fought black trauma and beat it to the ground, I was like, whoa, that's generational.
All you needed to do was put it in an easy to consume form where he fights it with his fist. And I finally understand.
Right. And then in the back, after he says that speech, the Negro national anthem is going to play. Scene.
Whoa. Why do we need 2 national anthems? Come on.
That's for the algorithms, guys. That's for the algorithms. Both sides of the fence. We told you.
Honestly, I only think we have 1 national anthem. And you know which one it is.
The one that Marvin Gaye sung?
No.
I'm joking. I
say, welcome to Atlanta where the players play. That's
hey.
Let Every Voices Sing is the only national anthem I care about.
Look, I'm not going to argue with you there. Both sides of the algorithm, baby. Both sides of the algorithm.
Both sides of the algorithm. All right. We got 4 out of 5 all around for Rocky 3. Moving right along. Footloose. Wow. Martial arts champion Baki Hanma. I don't know how to say
doesn't matter. Just call him Baki. That's what
Baki
his friends call him.
Trains hard to surpass his legendary father. 5 violent death row inmates descend upon Tokyo to take him on. That is what Google says about the Netflix anime show Baki. Now, if you don't know, now you know. If you're joining us for the first time, or if you never joined us before, or if you're joining us for the 1,000th time, everything we do a 1-sentence review. Jason, please hit us with your 1-sentence review for Baki.
My 1-sentence review for Baki is Another instance where the criminal justice system failed its citizens.
So much so. I'm just gonna have to say it. Man, I hate anime. I hate it. I hate anime.
Guys, we're gonna make this short. I'm gonna keep it real. Like as much this, I'm gonna let's keep it a bean though, Jace. You admit it starts off pretty good.
There
Like,
are
the
some
prison
really,
breaks are
really
pretty entertaining.
fun stuff in here. There is some fun, cool things that are happening. The one thing that I guess I had a real problem with this is I didn't realize this is kind of like a sequel to something, or like
I realized that too when I was watching it too. I'm like, oh,
so I'm sitting here
started with the first.
I'm sitting here kind of confused the whole entire time. It's like, do we know these guys? Are we supposed to know this dude? But on top of that, they do the tropey anime thing where they'll start a fight in the beginning of the episode, and it'll take like 4 episodes for that fight to finish. And I'm just like, and then they'll cut to something that doesn't fucking matter. And they'll be like, here's the backstory for this right here. Well, while this fight's going on, you remember this guy is a judo master, and he's really cool at judo, and he won. And I'm like, oh God, you are taking me out of the moment, and you're slowing the story down so much, so much. And it just, this show does, like, as all the annoying things that I hate about anime, it just throws it right into my face. And I can't. I watched a lot. I watched like 10 episodes, and I'm just like, I don't want to. I don't stop. Just leave me alone.
So yeah, that's the first thing I noticed, that this was like a sequel series. But the other thing too, like I told Jason, this is one of those examples of if somebody that never watched anime but knew that got told about anime, and I was like, hey, tell me about anime. This is the show that they would describe. A bunch of fighting, a bunch of staring and talking, then brief fighting, and then it's like counter move to your move, and then it's a lot. It got to the point that they had fought so much in such like spurts randomly all the time that I was like, oh, I really wish they had put this in tournament form, because all these street encounters are just so fucking random to me that I hate to say it, it was too much action and fighting. It's to the point that I was like, I do not care about any of these characters. I do not care about who's fighting who. To the point I started rooting for the light people on fire dude. Like, I was rooting for him. I was like, yeah, it's like showed up in the dojo, like ready to wreck shit. Like, yeah,
beat the dude's kid up. Beat his
right,
ass.
right. I was like, it's a lot.
Oh, you're not that dude. I'm sorry.
And then like the most enjoyable thing that I wanted to learn more about was like homeboy who had mastered the oxygen in the void thing. I thought that was like a dope concept, and it was like, yeah, you're not gonna see much of him for the rest of this series now. So, which again, we only watched part 1, guys. So no people going like, well, part 2 and 3. We only watched part 1.
Don't care.
Right?
Honestly, I don't give a shit. It could be the best thing ever after, like, all you gotta do is get to the season 2, episode 14, and it's gonna make your dick hard. I don't care. There's too many dudes pissing on dudes.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Also, they must drink a lot of water because there's a lot of clear piss. So shout out to them being hydrated.
I don't care.
They're gonna do this.
Cause like the one where they fight when the what Spec fights the Yakuza dude. And like, oh, I give up beating, and then it's like, nope, I'm still fighting. Like, no, I'm beating again. No, we're fighting some more, and it's like some of the stuff is cool. Like they're ripping each other, beating each other up, and blood splatting everywhere. But it's like it's too like stop, start. Here's some backstory. Here's Baki. Let's see what Baki's doing. Nothing. Okay, back to the fight. He's hanging out.
I would almost say the first 6 episodes of this, Baki's like in it, but like he ain't doing nothing. Hell, this first little fight, he's like in a classroom. He's like, Chase still going to school.
There's no real plot. Like, I guess if I'd watched, the previous stuff with Baki in it, I might care about this character more. Like, he seems completely unconcerned that there's 5 escaped psychopaths who really just want to beat his ass. And the only reason they haven't beat his ass is because there's other guys who are like, I like to fight too. And they're like, okay, I guess we'll beat your ass first. And he's like, I still got to go to school. I don't care that these murderers out here.
Just summed up the whole part 1 right there.
Yeah, that's the story, y'all.
Hey, I'm going to fight that guy because I want to feel defeat. Oh, you gonna get in front of him? I guess I gotta fight you now.
There's no character, at least not in the first, half of this. There's no character development. There's no like stakes. There's nothing. It's just like, oh, we're gonna fight. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, why are we fighting? Because I like to fight. Okay.
Yeah, I have not lost a fight, but I did enough to get thrown in jail. But I haven't lost a fight, so I want to fight people till I lose.
And apparently, because, even though I was in jail, I was only in there because I wanted to be in there, because I could have got out at any point if I wanted to. Because apparently, there's no other humans on this planet. I don't care how many dudes and how many guns you bring. There's no other dudes on this planet that can hold me. Only reason I was there in the first place because I wanted a vacation because I was sleepy.
Now, I know some of the anime purists will correct this, and I please do it. Put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments
because the question I really had about it was, from the rumors that we heard, like Baki's dad is the real badass. Why were these guys breaking out of jail to fight Baki's dad?
Because Baki's dad didn't win the last tournament. Baki did.
Yeah, but it's a known thing that Baki's dad is like the guy.
Yeah.
And that's all they wanted to do. They didn't want to win a tournament. Those convicts wanted to fight somebody they had thought they could probably beat them. They didn't really want to win any tournament. So wouldn't you just go find the guy that is probably the best fighter in the world?
The guy who's in the first 10 episodes only seen is him doing splits in a hut somewhere.
Right. And drinking water, staying hydrated for when he has to piss on somebody later.
These guys, I can't even care. I don't even care about these dudes. They're so many. Like, oh my god.
Oh, that's the part. That's really the part. I was just like, why aren't they going after that dude? No, anyway, it's probably an answer for this that we just don't know. I know you don't care, but I actually would care. So somebody has that answer in the comments, please. If the answer is because it's anime, I would accept that too, because that's probably right.
Look, go onto the website and go into this, log in, sign up, log in, go into our suggestions and suggest what we should have watched first instead of this. And maybe I might not tell you to lick my balls.
That would be rude if they went to the website, signed up, and then left a comment, and you were like, "Yeah, lick my balls." I feel like it's no incentive to want to sign up and do anything you ask them to do. How about this?
Just what we should have watched before this.
Jason will put an emoji of licking your balls if you do it. He won't do it, but he'll put the emoji.
Unless you got money.
That.
We can come to an agreement.
Conditional, ladies and gentlemen. It's conditional ball licking is what he's saying. I was going to let him just say just the emoji, just put a tongue with some berries or some nuts or whatever. I don't know how emojis work. I really do not know how emojis work.
I don't know how emojis work.
I don't even know how to turn emojis from the yellow guy. Like, I can't turn them from a Simpson to a black guy. I haven't figured that out on my phone.
You got to hold it down and you can pick the black guy.
News to me. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We just got one thing answered. Put that in the comments. How do you turn from a Simpson to a black guy?
How are you younger than me and you a boomer? How are you younger than me and you a boomer, man?
Because I don't like to talk to people doing fucking artwork. If I wanted to do that, I just would draw the picture. I drew the shit and sent it to him. I'd have drawn it, took a picture with my phone, and I'd have sent it to him. Instead, I'd rather just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna use words that I'm gonna text to you or talk to you on the phone," and not be like, well, "Let me get a tongue with an eggplant." And I don't care about all that. And that's what another thing.
Weird. Talking to people on the phone.
Yeah. I love talking to people on the phone. Another thing I hate about using emojis, because like I'm afraid that I'm gonna send them some real nasty stuff, and I'm just gonna think it's cute. Be like teddy bear with a heart, with a peach, and they're like, "Dude, you want to hug my butt and lick my coo?" Like, I don't know.
Smiley face, eggplant, water. I was happy that it's raining because my eggplants are getting watered. You have no idea. It's like
it's a strong vine. It's gonna be a strong season this year of eggplants.
My eggplants are finally getting, and everybody's like, "Oh, gross, Jason! Seriously."
That's how I tell people I can't wait till you taste my eggplant parmesan, but they take it as the wrong way. Yeah.
Like, again, that's why I don't come over to eat my eggplant parmesan.
That's why I don't emoji. Is that what is it called? Emoji? I don't emoji. Regardless, I don't do that shit. I rather just tell you nasty stuff like, "Hey, I'm trying to put my tongue on that."
I think only millennials use emojis anymore anyway. So I think the Gen Zers, they just TikTok it to you.
Or the Zoomers or whatever they're called.
Yeah, they'll just send you a TikTok of how they feel about you. It's like, oh my God. It's busted.
That's what they do.
You know,
Also busted. Oh, sorry. That's how we feel about Baki. Again, I don't know if it's how we feel about these things. There's always the third thing we review. We just go off the rails because we're tired and we're like, we're ringing the bell for it to be over. So one day we're going to put like the best thing at the end and see if it happens the same.
Yeah, we should reverse it and put the stuff that we actually want to review at the end. So we're like, okay, we got the bullshit out the way. Now for the meat and potatoes. Here's what we got. Creed 3. Right. That shit was great. That's all we got to say. Goodbye.
Right. All right. Baki rating from 1 being trash to 5 being the most amazing thing you've ever seen. What do you rate Baki anime?
By the way, Jason didn't say this, but these
because I won't. I'll never say it. I will never. You won't ever watch The Greatest Showman. I will never quantify my rating system ever.
Like all these numbers, man, you could put this on a chart, and I will be consistent with everything that I say.
Little do they know is that I'm really giving them code by every number I get. If you put it all together from all the shows in order, it actually is a secret message. But that's another discussion for another day.
Drink Ovaltine.
Right.
Is Ovaltine still a thing? Like, why?
Could have just sent me this in an emoji. Why do you have to do a secret message for this?
Jason doesn't know anything about emojis, but he found the Ovaltine emoji.
with the strong Simpson arm, because I still don't know how to do the black one.
Ovaltine. I'm gonna give this shit a 1. I don't care.
I will give Baki a delicate 2.5. I think I enjoyed it, but it's nothing that I would want to go back to. It didn't make me enthused to want to watch part 2. It didn't make me enthused to want to go back to the beginning and watch the other tournament. It was just, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Hooray!
It's cool. All right.
So next week, what are we gonna do? Well, Alicia's going to be back hopefully next week. Hopefully her legs heal and she's out of that wheelchair because James broke the back out of her. Yes, I knew that's something I had to say that was going to be disgusting.
Yes. There you go. Yeah, man. I mean,
what
build it up.
Scream,
You gotta release
Scream
it.
9, Scream 10? Is that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it tonight if I can.
Scream 11.
Yes, Scream 6, and was it 65 is out?
Oh yeah, 65. That looks good.
The true Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, Adam Driver. I'm gonna watch it because he's like, I'm Adam Driver, and this is the movie that I'm in. That's my Adam Driver impression.
That actually was really good. I'm impressed how you were able to do that. Little jealous too, because that baritone was very, very elite there for you.
If you got a lifetime of people telling you to put some bass in your voice, you can figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so I'm thinking right now, Scream 6, 65. Maybe we just do a 2-man show and we just have some other fun game stuff to do. Or if Lisa wants to add something or yourself, we can add something and we can do that too.
Check the website and see what else is up. Me and
you have to get together and do our Vox Machina review eventually.
Oh, yes. We have to talk about this.
Yes. Maybe we're playing it like on a Sunday or something. A Sunday morning, lovely day to talk. Well, you don't get up that early. A Sunday afternoon, a lovely day to talk.
Late Sunday evening.
Jason rolls out of bed, records this, and rolls back into bed to go to sleep for the next day.
Practically Monday morning-ish. But not like actual Monday morning.
Right. Had a great Sunday night and nap. It's 2:00 in the morning of Monday. Yeah, it's my Sunday.
Gotta take my 18-hour nap. I don't understand what's going on.
All right, this is the part that Elvis fans love the most.
It's the end. Jason, you got any parting words for us?
Again, support Black-owned businesses, like Lisa was saying. Support any small business. This is out there. But if it can be Black-owned, I would appreciate that even more. Shout out to Sweet Brown Sugar. I went up there the other day, spent about $40. Jesus. I got a macadamian peanut butter cookie, a sugar cookie with sprinkles, got 2 monster cupcakes with Oreo cookies in there. I got white cake.
My language.
I got a key lime cake And then also they had, what is it? I always get that wrong. What is it called? Remember that ice cream that had like the vanilla chocolate and strawberry? Neapolitan or
Yeah,
Necropolitan. They
Neapolitan.
have that in cake version, so I got one of
Gross.
those as well.
Disgusting. I don't want
that. Do you like chocolate cake?
I like chocolate cake, but I don't like Neapolitan. Like you just messed
Do
it
you
up.
like vanilla cake?
You messed it up by adding them together.
But it's separated. It's not intermingled. It's actually separated like the ice cream thing, so you could eat just that piece of the cake. Anyway, regardless,
the ice cream always gets mixed up.
Regardless, it is a great place. I spend way too much money there. And I hate to say this, $40 is on the low end of what I usually spend there. Usually when I go there with the girls, it's like closer to the 80s. So support Black-owned businesses. Thank you guys for listening, watching. Also, follow us on, you can see our handles there. I've been trying to be more active to try to just talk to people and enjoy the culture, because it's a lot of creative people in the culture and a lot of fascinating people. And I've been having a great time talking under Headcanon Circus as well as my own. And I need to get a little bit more active at Instagram. I just hate doing and taking photos. So I got to get better at that.
Because
But
for men.
yes. I feel like that should be Lisa's lane. Let her just do the photos for Instagram. But yeah, and I'm not saying that because she's a woman. I'm saying that because she's better than that than all of us. So, yeah. But yeah, no, again, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, so that's the show. If you're an Elvis fan, you're a terrible human being. I was going to say that. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, one of people that watches us, they said that he watched Elvis the other day, and I said we refuse to watch it on our show, but is it any good? And he said it's all right. He's like, it's not as overly offensive as he thought. He goes, it actually is all right, but I still feel like I'm gonna probably die on that hill.
Well, you know what hill I'm gonna die on. Either way, it's gonna be a big hill with lots of like dead bodies around it, because I would have slaughtered everybody and be like, son, avenge me as I take my final breath. But look, I've already killed all these other people, so you only got to kill like 2 dudes. So it's cool.
You only got to kill the guy that comes out of the portal. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Just kill that dude, and we're good.
He always comes back. He always comes back.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us once again on the Headcanon Circus podcast. If you haven't liked, shared, subscribed, please go ahead and do that. Please be kind, be considerate to one another. And if you have tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%, if not more, if you can afford it. And of course, if you see that Sharon, tell him that we're going to drink with him on St. Patty's Day, because he's Irish. Yeah. And also, Creed should have lost. He should have got his ass beat by